Hello, I'm David Stone, one of the co-chairs of the annual meeting in Hong Kong in 2014. I'm joined this morning by Marion Heathcote and Peter Chalk to talk about some practical tips for getting around Hong Kong. I think, Peter, one of the most important things to tell people is not to catch a taxi from the airport.
That's exactly right, David. When you disembark your aircraft, you will walk on the same level through immigration and baggage collection, and you'll be able to walk straight onto the express train from the airport, which takes you to Kowloon and into Central. It's about $40 for a one-way fare. It's excellent value, it's clean and it's safe and it's air conditioned, and it's the best way to get into town very quickly and at minimal cost.
Now, travelling around Hong Kong, there's a number of options. There's the octopus card, which is a way of putting cash onto a piece of plastic to use in a range of services around Hong Kong. But INTA will also be selling MTR cards, which can be used on trains throughout the city.
That's right. The cost will be about $7 per day, and you can buy the MTR cards from the interwebsite after you have registered for the meeting.
There's going to be a map though too, isn't there, David?
Absolutely. So on the microsite, which INTA has put up, you'll find maps from the airport into the city, as well as where all the hotels are as part of INTA's block booking.
The other great thing about Hong Kong is it's actually a pretty easy city to get around on foot. There are loads of covered walkways that link many of the buildings in Central, and you can walk undercover and above the traffic and avoid having to cross roads to get around. It's very convenient and it's quick, and it gives you a really interesting perspective on the city as well.
Now, getting around, Peter, you mentioned the covered walkways. What about taxis?
Taxis are plentiful in Hong Kong and they're very reasonably priced. One thing you will have to remember about taking a taxi in Hong Kong is it's always a really good idea to have the address of your destination written in Chinese. Some of the drivers in Hong Kong speak English, but there are some that don't, and it's just an added tip to make it easy to get around to carry a card from your hotel, which will have the address of the hotel and the name of the hotel in Chinese. So you'll be able to show that to the driver when you're returning to your hotel at the end of the day. And similarly, if you're going to a restaurant or to another hotel to meet, just ask the concierge at the hotel, or if you're down at the convention centre, the help desk down there, if you could get the name and address in Chinese. You can take one of the most iconic ferry rides in the world, the Star Ferry, that leaves from the harbour front in Central, and it takes very little time and it costs virtually no money. It's a few Hong Kong dollars to take the ferry over to Kowloon.
And it's the same for the tram across the island too, isn't it, Peter?
That's right.
Very little, one end of the island to the other, and you'll be there with the locals as they travel. Which reminds me, you need to spend a little bit more time to get to each of your destinations as you try and work the new system. But enjoy it. It's a great way to see the island, see the culture and see the environment.